see marshals waving various types of flags during a race weekend, but do you understand what the different flags signify? Black and orange flag indicates a car is damaged or has a mechanical problem and must return to the pit immediately. A blue flag indicates the driver in front must let the faster car behind pass as the leading car is being lapped. Took his final victory of his impressive Formula One career at the 1994 Australian GP. Mansell would sign for McLaren for the 1995 season but missed the opening two races due to not being able to fit in the car. He would go on to race on two more occasions but abruptly retire from the sport after failing to score points. If you're visiting Melbourne this weekend, don't forget to take in the beach.
Tina, you fat lard, eat your food! Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Viking Racing League Season 4, Race 11, and it is the season finale, and there's still the Drivers' Championship up for grabs between, who is on screen now, Papa Rimjob. He's been rimming all season, and he's got this last race. He is behind by, I think it's 9 points. He's behind by 9 points, so it's still all to play for. Between him and Vigo. Vigo and Mad Mark taking that championship last week, confirming the constructors, but it's all to play for. And what a place to do it. The nice sunny, breaming, scorching Albert Park. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this track, but it is one that gets the juices flowing for the need for speed. It looks like Papa Rimjob's right up on the back, and it will be Papa Rimjob that will be setting the first flying lap as he comes round the last final couple of corners. And we shall do the ever popular first flying hot lap as he opens up his DRS down the start-finish straight. It is the second one, not the official first one, as we head down to turn one. And you want to brake as far left as possible, turn in as soon as you start brake, ride the curve. He's missed the curve there, but you want to ride a bit of the curve on turn two, open up that second DRS zone as we head down to turn 3 and 4. Another quick, sharp, it's not really a chicane, I call it a wide chicane, but if you want to avoid the curve there, you will go fine. Turn 5, right-hander, stay off the curves or you will hit the wall. As we go into the quick flick of turn 6 and 7, ending the first sector 26-7, and then round to turn 8, and this is the developed part of the track where the chicane has gone. It's a fast overtaking as the DRS is open just now, where it's going to be a big overtaking opportunity. And as we come round to the end of sector 2, flick of turn 9 and 10, where there'll be a lot of people that will either be missing those apexes or invalidating their lap or flying off as we head down to turn 11. Nice squeeze right-hander, slowest part of the track. Turn 12. And then we've got again the wide chicane of turns 13 and 14. Ooh, lost his traction a bit there on turn 13, but you want to take as much speed into turn 14 as possible. Open up that DRS again, and it's a long run down to the line of a 1:17.6. So Papa Rimjob setting the marker down as Spencer crosses over, doing a run out on mediums here. Definitely not going to beat any times there. We've got Vigo now, the championship contender, the current championship leader on the mediums, and sets a time of 75 on those mediums. So great lap from him. As it's Saka shit next. Coming home under 17.6, are just behind on those soft, so mediums being set a decent time by Vigo. Brazil Wax coming home P4 on those mediums, so a realistic time for the mediums. And Tortuguita an 18.4, so he's still got plenty of time to find. Got Trucker on his first flying lap. Coming round turn 4, turn 5, rides the curb on the inside and takes a lot of the exit 2. It's really easy if you go too much momentum through that you will go flying, but he's invalidated actually, so he's not going, he's going to either have to dive in and switch his tyres, or if he's got enough fuel in his, go again. So Trucker driving like a fucking truck. Off-road trucker. Is anyone setting another time? No, I think everyone's going to be diving in the pits to change their tyres. The medium runners can potentially, as it looks like Spencer's gone round again, and is he doing a second lap? He is on these mediums, so you can do a few laps on these mediums, so potentially with the high fuel load it won't be a realistic time that he's currently got with a 25. We'll see how he gets on. He navigates around turn 4, rise that inside curve again. You can take as much of the exit curve as possible, but it's an easy place to invalidate. Coming to the end of sector 1, and he's down over 4/10, so yeah, it's going to be difficult to make up that time. I do have the United game on, so if anyone can hear that in the stream, just let me know and I'll turn it down and I'll be fuck you guys. Let me have some of my own fun, please. So he comes round in 90 degrees. Shit corner that one is. It's a really, really, really poor corner. Ross Braun was a big advocate of the street track and dive straight in the pits, so yeah, not going to improve. As Trucker has gone round on another hot lap, so has got fuel in his tank. Coming round turn 13. As much speed as possible coming on the exit of 14 here. DRS is open. And the Aston Martin driver goes up to P5 with an 18 flat. And his teammate is on a flying lap as well. Behind Skyline in the Red Bull, the lone Red Bull. I think the yellow flag was there. Driver letting another one past. Flicks round turns 9 and 10. Really easy to end in the wall there. Those curbs, if your setup is wrong, can be brutal. Turn 13. Time's looking decent for Skyline. He's not just Skyline, he's Skyline X. And crosses the line and goes currently provisional P7. Gets 19.5, but it's still got 1.1 seconds to find to move up a place. And we'll check on Dr. Savage. As he's coming around the final couple of corners. Oh, loses his back end. That wouldn't have helped him, and he's doing a run out on hard, so saving himself plenty of soft tyres for the race. Won't go as 1:21. And Hawkeye setting his first flying lap and goes provisional pole with a 17.3. So great time from him, and I think that's because he's got his tits out. He's waving them round like he doesn't care. Do your tits hang low, do the wobble to and fro. Can you tie me in a knot? Can you tie me in a bow? Can you throw my soldier like a regimental soldier? Do your tits hang low? Apparently they do. Sack of shit on another flying lap in the Williams. I'll find 3/10 to get that provisional pole. He brings it round turn 5. And he's just over 1.5 tenths up on his time, which would get him up to P2 currently. Vigo is one to watch though, as he set that time on the mediums. Swinging around the DRS, and he's found some more time. He's nearly 3/10 up, which could get him up to provisional pole. He's not driving like a sack of shit at the moment. He's speeding around these corners. On turn 12, where you just need to let off, don't need to brake there. Nice and smooth around 13, open up that corner for 14, DRS open like a letterbox. You've got mail, and as we speak, Brazil took provisional pole with the 17 flat, and that's eclipsed First into the 16, to the 16.9 for sack of shit. Great lap from him. Papa Rim Job. He's up on his time currently, but there's not that much in the final sector. He needs to only beat Vigo though. By 9 points to win the championship. Comes round the final corner, takes as much of the exit curve as he dares to, and gets him up to provisional P2 above his teammates into the 16.9s as well. Woo, 200s behind sack of shit. Great lap from him. Spencer Walls, nowhere near his time. He's really, really slow at the moment. He, of course, is one that shits himself when he's got drivers behind, doesn't want to impede their race, so he ends up getting out of the way. So with Tortuguita in the Alpine. So like I say, Ferrari have clinched that championship for the constructors, but it's all to play for P2 with Alpine and McLaren. Both have got both drivers on the grid. There's 14 points in it in Alpine's favour. And Hawkeye currently P4, Tortuguita P7. McLaren currently P2 and 3, so both looking quite tasty. Purple sector for Tortuguita. For sector 2. At 90 degrees. 90 degrees angle. It's Ross Braun saying about the street track of Saudi Arabia. It gets a lot of shit, but it's a fast street track, and Tortuguita goes up to P6 for the 17.7. Vigo now on his flying lap, and he's 2.5 tenths up, which is not going to get him that high up. He hasn't improved that much from his mediums, and actually looks like he improved slightly on his time, but only by 1/10. So plenty of time to find Papa Rim Job. It's in his court at the moment. Will Vigo be doing another flying lap? I don't think he'll have enough ERS to get him round. We'll see. You know, his lights flashing. Papa Rim is on another flying lap though. 1/10.5 up on his time. Fastest second sector of everyone at the moment. Closes that DRS. Coming round turn 13. Can he get himself up to provisional pole? I'll give him a rim job if he wins this championship. And doesn't improve on his time. Stays P2. Just under 5 minutes to go. There's still time for people to sit in the pits and come out in a couple of minutes. You want to be the last one out, where the track is at its optimum. Generally with this track, with being a street track, is that it's at the start of a weekend or a session, it's so slippery, and you need the track to rubber in to maximise your performance. As Brazil Wax comes out for could potentially be his final hot lap. He's got the slipstream, and that Aston Martin of Dr. Savage, absolute nightmare. He's blocked 2 laps there, and I do not think Brazil would have been happy with that. Although it said he was 6 tenths up, which we'll see on the end of sector 1, and that was actually mad. No, he's just slightly up on his time, but oh, he would have. It said he's got the fastest. The toe would have helped him down the start finish, but he needed Dr. Savage out of his way. And he's again just slightly, not even 1/10 up, so having to swerve out of that Aston Martin would have cost him time. Not quite in the 1/16s yet. As Trucker gets himself up to P4. 7 tenths up on his previous time, up to 17.2. But what time can see Brazil find in the last sector? Use as much as the curb as possible. And does get into the 169s. But 6 thousandths off his teammates. And what could have been, has he got enough time to go round again? He does have to go round to go again. Does he have enough fuel in? I don't know what Dr. Savage is doing here. Dr. Mirage. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I'll have to rub my eyes. It's a mirage. Because Dr. Savage is all over the place. Get in the pits. That's where you belong, you naughty boy. Skyline. Currently just coming out of turn 4. Hawkeye is behind him. See Brazil. And Spencer Walls has retired from the session, so he's not going to get any higher than P8. He invalidates. Will he have enough in his tank to go round again? Tracker is invalidated. We'll see. He won't have enough time to go in and out. He comes round turn 12, 13. Is he diving in? He's gone on the grass. He's gone in. I'd be miffed if it was me. I think Skyline's the first one going round. He's just coming round the last couple of corners. He needs to improve greatly to get himself up the grid order. Crosses the line. And he's actually down on his time by 1.5 seconds, so he's not going to improve. Has he got enough time in his Dr. Tits? Gets up to P4 with a 17.2, just above Trucker. It's not sack of shit, it's a McLaren of Papa Rim, who's just starting his flying lap. Trucker is just slightly down. 200ths down. He just needs a little bit more time in this final sector. He dives in the pit, so he's not going to improve on his time. We've got Vigo, the championship leader. Currently P6. It's not where he wants to be, especially with Papa Rim job P2. His truck and arrow tyres, he's going to be high as P5. Vigo jumps him and Hawkeye up to P4 with a 17 flat, so he's still got a chance to set another time, but I don't think he will. I don't think he'll have enough time in his ERS. The Skyline's gone round again, diving in the pits. Who've we got next coming round? Looks like the Williams, a sack of shit, who's dived in the pits. Hawkeye's invalidated, he's not going to improve. It's Papa Rim job who's invalidated, he's not going to improve either. He goes down, so he's not going to improve. Tortuguita's not going to improve either. He's 50, he's invalidated. So this is your order. And sack of shit, it doesn't drive like one today. The Williams driver has taken pole with a 69 200ths ahead of Papa Rim job and C Brazil. Really tight between those top 4 actually. As Vigo's just coming round, we'll just wait for him to cross the line or jump in the pits. Great performance. He's just trickling over the line. He's just titillated my taste buds while we wait for him. Getting himself warmed up. Not rushing. The final race of the season. And I will take a quick slurp. Oh, that was lovely actually. And this is your final grid of the season. Your final pole taken by Sakashit with a 69.36. Papa Rim joins on the front row, looking for that championship. His teammates got to have to play a part in this, I guess. He won't want to impede him at all. On the second row with Vigo, who's going to be up there trying to get the championship. Clinch both that and the constructors. Hawkeye P5, Trucker P6, Tortuguita P7, Spencer Walls P8. And rounding off the 10 drivers, Skyline X and Dr. Sauvage, Who belongs at the back? You naughty boy. And as we speak, Rashford's just scored and put United up 1-0. My guy. He's still a lazy bastard. And oh my God, and maybe this played a part in. Oh my God. Maybe this played a part in people's times. I think one or two would have had a wet setup, and it's absolutely pouring. It's monsoon season. It's fucking raining, mate. Oh my God. And drivers now will be sorting out their. That's a great finish from Rashford, that. It is Barnsley, though, but it's a great finish. I just can't believe it. Australia's known for its sun, not its rain. Unbelievable. Well, it wasn't always here. In Melbourne, it used to be in Adelaide, but they switched over. So Adelaide's last Grand Prix was in the end of '95, and this track had its maiden Grand Prix in 1996. Most well known for Martin Brundle, our Lord and Saviour, Mr. Martin Brundle in his Jordan. Ended up launching himself off the back of Johnny Herbert's Sauber in turn 3 and ending both their races. It is a temporary track, quite a bumpy one, so it's difficult braking zones. There's only one or two drastic braking zones at turn 1, obviously, but you can tend to use that speed into the corner. It's not a sharp one. It's turn 11 with a 90 degrees angle sharp corner where you've got to go quite slow and turn in a lot. It's a horrible corner, but it is what it is. But the setup, there's several spots on this circuit which requires a reactive front end, as you have to chuck it into the corner. Like I said, turn 1, you've got to chuck it into that corner. Turn 6, you've got to chuck it into the corner. Turn 9, you've got to chuck it into the corner. Yeah, it's just really high speed ones, and where you've got to take advantage. Unless it dries up, which the sky does look quite bright, so it might change conditions. We'll find out once the drivers jump in whether it is full wets. Looks potentially intermediates to me. It doesn't look like there's loads of puddles everywhere like a wet circuit, so it could be inters. It could dry up, but it is one of the fastest tracks on the calendar. 250 kilometres. Top speed was given by Verstappen in last season's race. But it's going to be a tricky one in these. It's a tricky one anyway. It is classed as a street circuit, and with its enclosed walls, there is some tight margins, especially going from turn 7 down to turn 9. We're not going to see those DRS in play. The thing about these DRS zones, which both of them are double DRS zones, so there's a lot of overtaking opportunities, but again, we're not going to see them in play, and it's going to test the skills, the wit, the mettle of the drivers as they're just going for a piss break. It's going to be sorting out these strategies. If it stays wet, I think there's still going to be that one stopper changing your intermediates. You're not going to last till the end of the race. The pit lane is about 19 seconds long, so you don't want. There's a lot of time to lose if you pit more than once. But I have a feeling that one or two are going to lose some wings here. Had a great race last week at Silverstone. Adamako came from the back of the grid to clinch another win of the season. Him and his teammate Keyser are not here with us this week. Papa rim job, and Brazil getting that double McLaren podium, which has brought Papa Rim into contention for this championship right to the end. It'll be intriguing to see how it goes. Someone I think's taken a massive shit. good. I hope everyone gets around that first corner, otherwise it could end like a clusterfuck. And some of the messes you end up to, it's like having a shit and then stepping in it. It can just be absolute, just carnage. It's not what you want. But hopefully everyone makes it around that first corner well. We shall see as we wait for them. Waiting for these drivers. While we wait, joke of the week. What's green and smells like pork? Kermit the Frog's finger. Da 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 da. On defending, it's looking. You look at the pit stop areas are looking quite wet, so you might see some blue rim tyres come out. It could be. I'm hoping that it's it's dry enough for the enters, but they could be as useful as a knitted condom, and we might have to see the wets. I'll see if anything's mentioned in Discord of when we're going, because waiting a long time here. There's no chat here. Come on, guys. It's the last race. I know you don't want it to end, but there's a time for everything. Drivers will be sorting out their strategies. You don't need that much fuel. When it's wet, you don't use as much fuel because you're not pushing the engine as much as you normally would, so your fuel load will be low. If you're going to risk a potential safety car, you could underfuel. Well, again, there's a high chance of that happening. Setting when you're going to potentially lap, you might want to look at an undercut maybe. Still raining hard. It's not going to let up until the drivers give us the go ahead. It's a 5.2 kilometre clockwise circuit, 14 corners, 9 to the right and 5 to the left. 2 DRS zones, like I said. The first one going down after turn 8 with a double DRS after turn 10. And then your second one opens up the start-finish straight and goes down after turn 2. So again, plenty of overtaking opportunities, but they won't be in play until the dry conditions. We are waiting for these drivers. I had a clean shaven face when we started this race, and now I've got a 5-inch beard. I lie, I haven't either. I'm lying again. What are you lying for? And here now. It's 4, 5 lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Everyone is on wets. We'll just check on some position changes as Sakashit defends his start from Papa Rim job, and he doesn't defend that well. He span off like a sack of shit. He absolutely stinks. And he stinks at the back of the grid now as Papa Rim jumps to the front. Vigo's lost a place, which would help Papa Rim. He's lost actually a couple of places on turn 3. Down to turn 7. He's lost traction. And that has helped Papa Rim jobs fight for this early race. Goes off track and hits the wall. I don't know if he's got the right setup or he's just struggling to get his tyres heated up. He's just struggling for any sort of traction. And Skyline is going to look to try and overtake him here. Going round turn 8. Defended well there from Vigo, as he's potentially looking to overtake Tortuguita. As Tortuguita slows down and lets both of them pass. I don't know why, as Vigo's on the gravel. It's down to P8. Dr. Savage is going to look to overtake him with better traction going down to turn 11. Vigo has the inside line. And what the worst first lap from Vigo that you could ever think of. Well, unless he's trying to set himself a challenge here. But it's not a great start from him at all, and I don't think he was prepared for this. Skyline is all over the back of Tortuguita. Tortuguita losing traction on the final corner. Didn't hit the wall that hard as Vigo's managed to get past. And there's spray everywhere. As he's looking to defend turn 1, sack of shit has managed to overtake Dr. Savage. And Spencer Walls is off at turn 2. Has spanned exactly the same place as sack of shit did. He's got a broken wind, so he's going to have to pit. And the VSC is out. He's got himself going again, so it's not going to be a full safety car. He's going to have to pit early on here. It's a long race when it's wet and you have to pit early on. As Papa Rim has lost a couple of places as well. We've missed that. He's been struggling as well, and that's Trucker and Hawkeye and his tits are up a couple of places now. Papa Rim right on the back of Trucker. He's going to want to try and take some places back again. Vigo's only a couple of places behind him now. He needs that 9-point buffer, 10-point buffer actually, to claim that championship. He's got to stay within that. He can't overtake yet though. He's got to stay within the VSC parameters. No one speed under this VSC. If you get that stupid penalty, I will be coming after you. As they're all within DRS range, even though it's not in play, it's really tight and packed. Down to P4. Will anyone look to try to do a move down to turn 1? I don't think anyone's close enough, and then it's further 8 seconds behind for P5. So Vigo's got a way to go. Oh, making it through turn 1. It's tricky conditions for these guys, and what a race to have for the final one of the season. Those conditions are terrible. As Vigo manages to make the move on Skyline down to turn 3. Good move from him. And he doesn't necessarily have to be close to the drivers. It's all about positions. As he goes off slightly. Best not to get these track limit penalties either. Wetter than Stevie Wonder's toilet seat here. As Papa Rim on the outside. Going down to turn 9. Brave move on Trucker, makes it stick. I think Trucker didn't fight it too hard as Papa Rim had better traction going round, and Papa Rim now chasing Hawkeye. Getting slowed down by his tits. Around the end of lap, it's only lap 3 of 29. There's a yellow flag in sector 3, and it's Trucker's gone off. Papa Rim Job will be absolutely shaking his fist as that. He needs Trucker as a buffer, as Rim now showing his pace right on the back of Hawkeye and setting the current fastest lap. Taking a look on turn 3, just not quite close enough. Brazil Wax has that bit of buffer from Hawkeye and his teammate. McLaren will want to try and make a 1-2. Trucker got himself going again. Doesn't seem to have any damage. Vigo seems to have settled himself now, got his some heat in his tyres. as he drifts round turn 8. Sack of shit making the move on Skyline down turn 8. Great move from him, trying to work his way back up. He's got the speed, he showed that with his pole. As we've got another yellow flag, and we've lost Spencer, and that's a full safety car. Coming round turn 5, he's clipped the curb and hit the wall, and it's a full safety car. Will anyone look to pit for some fresh wets? It doesn't look like it's going to dry up at all. It looks like it's going to be a full wet session. And that will bunch the field back up now. Papa Rim will not be happy with that. It brings Vigo back in play to him. As Vigo's actually going into the pits. Has he got damage that he needs to get rid of? Is he going some... Or is he going to try the inters? Sack of shit's going in as well. Skyline's going in. Tortuguita say that, and Dr. Mirage has said out. They're trying the inters. He thinks it's dry enough for inters. He's getting a fresh wing as well, I think. Sack of shit and Skyline have stayed on the wet, so it's all or nothing from Vigo. You might as well. I personally think it's still wet with the amount of spray coming off the cars. I think it's brave, but I think wets are still the tyre. You can see the spray coming off the car there. I've still got to join the safety car queue. Brazil at the front of that queue. His gap will be reduced that he had over Hawkeye. Oh. I'd say it's either a stroke of brilliance or a madman move for Vigo going on those inters. For me personally, his chances. I think it's still too wet. I think his chances are as thin as a vegan at a barbecue. To get up the field, he needs another safety car or something to bunch him back up. I don't think he'll have the traction off the corners. He showed on the wets that he struggled to get his car going. Had reflexes like a wet sponge. We'll have to see. Oh, that's a full-on penalty from your stupid man bun. He's got the small... Is that a man bun? No, it's just a shit crown. He's got a shit hairdo. And United have got a penalty. Anthony's actually done something this season. Showed some good pace. Jumped his man. Doesn't have contact, but he can find out. Anywho, we're still waiting for Sack of Shit, who's decided to go on the inters as well. So maybe he's thinking, now is the time. Again, there's no... he's near the back anyway, so there's nothing to lose. Anthony's got a penalty. We'll see if he can go in. He best not celebrate like a knobhead. He celebrates like a normal person, thank God. Knobhead. Sack of Shit now joins the back of the queue. And safety car is in this lap. And see Brazil will lead the way ahead of Hawkeye. Papa rim job. Trucker, and Codemaster seems like it doesn't want to give us any sort of camera view. There we go. Tortuguita, Dr. Mirage. Vigo on those inters. Well, it'll be interesting to see how him and Sack of Shit get on with Skyline sandwiched in the middle. Oh, a bit of bum in there. What happened there with Tortuguita? He was getting absolutely raped by Savage there. Did you see that? Juttering. carnage. So Brazil, you can't overtake, of course, until you get to the timeline. You have to wait for the safety car to go into the pits. So Brazil, I think, will hold up as long as he can down the start straight. I think he'll go any time now. Lose a bit of traction off again, and he does. He catches Hawkeye off guard a little bit. Papa Rim was waiting. Probably got a signal from his teammate, and will stay right behind him until the start-finish line. Is he close enough to make the move? I can't see. Now, let's see how these guys get down to the braking zone. What did Dr. Savage do there? A snap of oversteer, or an absolute spasm, sent him straight into the wall. This guy is, has he got Tourette's? Has he got steering wheel Tourette's? He smacks himself into the wall. But we'll see how Vigo gets on here. As Trucker is the first one with the track limits. Vigo looks like he's navigating it round, but he is loose. 3.7. We got a yellow flag. And Sack of Shit has lost it again. Coming out of turn 5. He's absolutely driving like one today. What a ball. As I'm just trying to see if he's got any wing missing. Looks okay. Maybe it's the inters. Or has he lost an impact? I can't see. No, he's got all his wing there, so he's still going. Vigo currently 3.4, 3.2, so he's gaining. Doesn't mean anything because Tortuguita isn't as quick as him. There's another yellow flag. Sack of Shit just going wide, I think. He's not having a good one right now, considering that he got pole goes wide. You don't want to do that too often, otherwise you're going to get a penalty as well. I see Brazil sets the fastest lap on the wet. Be interesting to see if Vigo does the same on the enters, which he does not. So they're not looking like they're the faster tyre. He's now losing time. He's not gaining. Interesting how he gets on, but no, doesn't seem like it was the right move to me. Papa Rim all over the back of Hawkeye now. Can smell what he had for breakfast this morning. Sack of Shit has gone in pits back on wet, so that says a lot to me. That it's too wet for Inters, and it was the wrong move for Vigo. He's going to have to try and stick with it with conviction now. But he is losing time as Papa Rim's struggling to get past Hawkeye at the moment, just following him round. I'm not sure of the penalties, the point system. But we potentially gaining 9 more points than Vigo. I couldn't tell you until afterwards. I don't know. I don't really know. Come around the end of lap 8 and Brazil has over a second advantage on Hawkeye now. He's got Papa Rim for company. Trucker in P4. He does have that penalty. Tortuguita 3 seconds behind in the Alpine. Vigo's still on those inters, but he's losing time now. He's lost half a second in the space of 2 corners. He's going to have to pit back on those wets. He's going to lose so much time. Skyline is gaining on him at a rate of knots. Gained about 3/10. A bit of a wiggle there from Skyline. You don't want to do that if you want to catch him. He will be under 4 seconds in 1 moment. Dr. Sauvage. Do my eyes deceive me? I think he's still on track because he's a mirage. And then Sack of Shit way behind now. We'll be hoping for another safety car to get him back in play, but still will get some decent points for himself. Getting P9 with 10 runners today. So closest battle here is Papa Rim, who's closed in on Hawkeye. Still struggling to get past in the wake of the car's turbulent air and spray. It's hard enough anyway in the dry, let alone in the wet. pushing him round. This may be the moment. He's in his slipstream. He is close. It seems like Hawkeye's got better straight line speed, either that he's using his ERS. Still ahead in turn 1, but he went on the inside line, which means Paparim should have the better line going out of turn 2. He's closing. Will he look to move it between turn 3? He doesn't. He follows him through. Not like you do in your pants. Which sack of shit has apparently done. Vigo's actually caught Tortuguita. I think Tortuguita's had a little bit of a bit of a moment somewhere. Vigo's gained about a second, but we'll probably see that drop. Again, sack of shit gets the fastest lap on his fresh wets and in clean air, showing the pace that he showed in quali. And Vigo now has lost again plenty of time as Tortuguita has settled himself after his moment. It's the quick corners where you've got to you've just got to feather the brake or not take as much speed through. Which on the wets there's more confidence in your tyres. It's corners like this one here, so yeah, he's lost a second now since we first went on him. That's a yellow flag. Who is that yellow flag? It was down on turn, I think was it a Hawkeye? It was down in turn 1. And sack of shit's gone again. He's not having a great day, this guy. Loses it on turn 10 and goes in the gravel. Oh my gosh. He's a menace to himself. Come on, get it together, man. As Paparim has finally managed to make that move going through turn 8. And has made that move stick and has got past Hawkeye's tits. And he's got himself up to P2, and that's another position ahead of Vigo, who's not making any strides against Tortuguita. Skyline has dropped back a bit, which I think he's had a bit of an issue himself. Ooh, Hawkeye going a little wide. On turn 11. Pushing the limits himself. Drifting his back end, goes a little wide there as well, just couldn't turn it in. And sack of shit is having an absolute mess. I don't know how many times I can say it. You are literally a sack full of dung. As Trucker setting the fastest lap in a bit of clean hair himself. Clean hair? Sack of shit doesn't have clean hair because his bum hair's covered in shit. Brazil's got 2.7 seconds ahead of his teammate, who's broken away from Hawkeye. Managed to put his foot down. Will he close in on his teammate? I think his teammate will want to help him fight for that championship. Will slow down and let him past. As it's we've lost. It's Dr. Savage coming out of turn 4. Lost it on the curb, I think, and almost did it again on turn 5. It's a mirage. You didn't see anything. Yeah, I think Paparim wanted his teammate to slow down slightly, let him get past and take the win. I know a race win's a race win, but it's extra points for this championship and gives him more opportunity. As Tortuguita gets ahead of Trucker, I think has a moment on turn 11. You can see he's struggling there. Come around turn 12. Oh, these conditions are tricky as he dives in the pits. Are these wet tyres wearing off now? Don't speed in the pit lane, my guy. He does not. And he's DNFing. What have you done that for? What have you done that for? You're in a decent position. Oh my God, these people, man. What's the point of racing if you're just gonna quit after? And we've lost Sack of Shit as well. Sack of Shit's lost it on turn 10, and it's a VSC. And Garnacho, as we speak, has just scored and does his celebration sitting on the signage. 3-0 at half time. You love to see it. I know it's Barnsley, but you still got to beat what's in front of you. And I'll tell you who's not beating in front of you. Trucker and Sack of Shit. A pair of melts. And the safety car, full safety car is out. So will Vigo jump in and switch for some wets? Will we see some drivers go onto some fresh wets? Oh, a bit of fortune there from Garnacho as Russia tried to take up the whole of the defence. And Brazil does dive in. Willie looks going into, he'll go fresh wets. I think wets are still the time to go. Papa Rim goes in. Hawkeye's going in to switch his tyres. Tortuguita is going in. Will Vigo go in and switch to wets? Ooh, he was undecided. He decided going last minute. Skyline. He's going in as well to switch. And Brazil has gone on to Inters. His teammate has gone on to wets. Dr. Savage has already pit and gone on to those wets, so he won't be pitting this time. Vigo's come out on some fresh Inters. Ooh, so Papa Rim. Teammates going, alternate strategy on tyres. I think it's still wet. Although there is... actually, it could be Inters because you can see the racing line on the track, which normally signals that Inters is good, as long as you don't go on off the racing line too much. This could play into the hands of the Inters. Hard to call. It's hard to call in these conditions. They can be as wild as my granddad's eyebrows. Like, you just don't know what the right call is. And listening to your race engineer, he's an absolute pivot, so you get no help from him. You've got to judge yourself, and you can see he's just going into the offline wet patches, trying to keep the temperature in the tyres. So Brazil has gone brave. Vigo went earlier. But the rest of the grid, I think it is full wets as we're still waiting for Dr. Savage to join. So we will be going around for another safety lap, safety car lap. As Tortuguita, Tortuguita's gone in the pits. Is he changing to some Inters? He is. So maybe he's thinking it's dry line. Yeah. Now I can see it, because with the rain it still looks reasonably. There's quite a lot of rain, but that dry line signifies to me that Inters are the right tyre. And it's a great call from Tortuguita there. This could be a stroke of genius, and Vigo now up to P4 with the retirement. And the pit for Tortuguita, which minimises the chances of Papa Rim for this title. It's not over till it's over. Not over till the fat lady sings and falls over and grazes her knee and has to eat chocolate cake to console herself. Babbage. Safety car will be in this lap, of course. And Brazil will be leading the way again, and as I say that, the game lets us know that too. So see, Brazil will be letting the safety car go into the pits. Keep the field bunched up, warm your tyres up, and then he'll probably go in a similar position that he did before. It's a tricky track for a safety car restart because it's such a long start-finish straight, and the pit line is halfway down the track, so you can be caught out really easily. Vigo has left a bit of space between him and Hawkeye. Potentially trying to give himself a good run. Bunched all back up against now though. When will Brazil go? He's gone now. Lose a bit of traction. As what is Dr. Savage playing at? Is this guy new? You've got to be on your toes on the safety car restart, like a midget urinal. And see Brazil's caught past the rim job on his heels. Hawkeye stuck with him in P3. Vigo has again been caught on his heels with the front three and has the two cars behind him. Dr. Savage, 3.3 seconds and a 10-second penalty for his infractions. Losing his back end, he's struggling in these conditions. I don't know if he's had that much wet racing prior to today. He's struggling with these conditions. As Tortuguita makes the move on Skyline, and do these inters have better traction? As Vigo's on the back of Hawkeye now. I think that if you stick to that racing line, these inters are the way to go. You've just got to have the confidence to put your foot down in times where you thought my car could end in the gravel. And around turn 11, and he's right on the back of Hawkeye. You can see how clear that racing line is now, so Inter's definitely are trying to go. Ooh, goes a little bit wide on 13. That'll hamper his traction going into 14. I'll see Brazil gets that fastest out with 29.7 on those Inters. Hawkeye defending well from Vigo. And gets that 3-second penalty for track limit infractions. And that is music to Vigo's ears. And Skyline goes in for some Inters. Dr. Savage serving his penalty just in case another safety car comes out. Goes on to back to his old wets. This fucking guy. Oh my god. And it's a bit of a, as Vigo's made the move and Hawkeye got himself up to P3. Easy move down to turn 9. Got the fastest middle sector for his efforts. And showing the pace. Now we'll see what pace he's got to close in on Papa Rim. The McLaren boy is currently 1 and 2, but will it remain so? We've got 12 laps to go. He's under 2 seconds, so he is gaining. He's got Hawkeye in his mirrors though. But all he has to do is put his foot down. I don't think he's going to be under too much threat. As Hawkeye's taking a look down to turn 1, but just isn't close enough to make that move. Vigo on a little bit of a defence. Again, Hawkeye isn't close enough on turn 3. Great driving from the majority of the guys here. 7 of them left. That's tricky conditions, and you've got to judge your braking point a little bit earlier as Vigo's a little bit wide on turn 5. Trusting his tyres to keep him on that curb. as he is gaining 3/10 now on Papa Rim. Papa Rim needs the assistance of his teammates to get him in his slipstream. His teammate's gone off into... He's gone to have his Brazil wax done. Not a very good teammate. He needs to let Papa Rim pass and hold up Vigo. As that's Dr. Savage losing it on turn 1 and 2. And he's hit the wall and damaged his wing again. What a melt. Hawkeye's still stuck with Vigo as we're coming around the final corner. Vigo's dropped a bit back behind Papa Rim. Papa Rim needs some team play from his teammate here. Let him pass. I know it's a race win, but he needs that opportunity to win this race and get as many points ahead of his championship rival. Will Brazil do it later in the race though? The Hawkeye's now been dropped by Vigo. Vigo 2 seconds behind. Two in a throne around this marker. Took both Alpines in 4 and 5, but the McLarens are in a better position, so looks like they will take P2 in the championship if it remains like this. Skyline, we pit a bit later on for those inters. P6, and then Dr. Savage is going in the pits again to change his wing after his crash on turn 2. I'll be surprised if this guy carries on any longer. He's not having a good one at all. Can you drive any slower? It's like a turtle walking through peanut butter. Jesus. And he does go on those inters and gets a fresh wing. Let's see what Dr. Savage can do. I'm sure it's not going to be that much. And Vigo has got himself up to, he's caught up to Papa Rim. As Papa Rim's going into pits onto some fresh inters. So for the final 9 laps, he's going to be on 6 lap fresher inters in clean air. It's the move he had to make as Tortuguita gets past his teammate. I think Hawkeye's let him past as Tortuguita is on the faster tyre. That's what you call team play. Vigo 6 seconds behind in P2. Let's see what Papa Rimjob can do. Pedal to the metal. 10.7 seconds behind Hawkeye. Let's see what he can do. 9 laps to go. Doesn't look like it's drying up at any time, so this will be to the end of the race. Vigo is being dropped by Brazil. It'll just be interesting to see how much quicker Papa Rimjob is to Vigo. As he's absolutely flying up to Hawkeye. Hawkeye's wet tyres are just not the right tyre, as his teammate takes a provisional fastest lap of 28.5. Look at the speed here as Dr. Savage gets out of the way quite extremely, but does anyway. And he's now 8 seconds behind Hawkeye. Let's see if I can work this out. So 5. Tortuguita catching Vigo. 4.5. 7, 9. 13. About 14.5 seconds as a guesstimate. Have a quick look at my cheeky ACCA, see who's letting me down. There's always one. Let's have a look. So Real Madrid haven't scored yet, I need them. Sporting 1-0 up good. Palace are drawing, I need them to win. Everton are drawing, I need them to win. So all's looking good so far. No one's losing. I need an Everton win. And I need a Crystal Palace winner. And I need a Real Madrid winner. Fingers crossed for me, everyone. As Papa Rim now sets that fast up with 28.4. It's closing in. 3.6. Look at that in a space of, oh, and that he's pushing so hard. That would not help him at all. It means that he needs to get 3 seconds ahead of Vigo, unless Vigo gets those track limits as well. He's got to hope that Vigo does, but Vigo doesn't necessarily need to push that hard in his current position. Tortuguita has had a bit of a moment and has dropped a couple of seconds further behind Vigo, who was gaining. 10, 8, 11. So he's gained probably out 2 seconds a lap. If he can carry on at this pace, he'll catch up easily in about 5 laps. So right at the end of this race, we should see a battle between Papa Rim and Vigo. Look at him flying right on the gearbox of Hawkeye. He's not want to get held up behind Hawkeye too long on those used wets. Dives on the inside of 13. Hawkeye leaving plenty of space. Very respectful driving there from Hawkeye. Could have been an absolute tease and held him up, but as Papa Rimbag gets past Tortuguita as well, as Tortuguita lets both drivers past, and Papa Rim gets another fastest lap, 28.2, 2/10 quicker than his last fastest lap, so he's absolutely flying. So there's your gap, 11.3. 11.3 with 6 laps to go. Half a second in the space of 2 corners. I think he can do it, but he needs that 3 seconds on top of it when he gets past, and Vigo will defend to the end. As Hawkeye has lost it coming out of turn 5. Those wets are just not, it looks like the rain subsided now. So the wets are the wrong tyre. Will it get to a stage where we have to go on to some dries, do you reckon? It's stopped raining, but it doesn't look like the sun's coming out, so it should probably stay wet right to the end. But it would be quite interesting if anyone tries to go on those, as Hawkeye pushing it, as Brazil setting the fastest lap off his teammate. Papa Rim now 9.6 seconds behind, an extra couple of tenths on Vigo. He's pushing it to the limit and sets the fast lap 27.3. Wow. Absolute wow, and you can see him absolutely pushing it. 9 seconds, 5 laps to go. It probably won't be the 9 points gap that you can, the Skyline takes over. Hawkeye's now decided to go in the pits and go on to, he's gone on to dries. He's gone on to dries. Is it time or is it too early? There's not that racing line that you can see, but it's also not too wet. Not really gaining an advantage on Skyline as such. No, not yet. A couple laps too early for me. He's losing lots of time. Nothing to lose, but yeah, wrong time. 8.2. He's coming around the final 2 corners to end lap 25. I think his pace has slowed down a bit now. He needs 2 seconds a lap. plus to beat him by 3 seconds. It's a big ask, and his tyres, the early tyres have worn off now. I think he's going to struggle to catch him in these, maybe. You've got to keep going just in case Vigo ends up with a penalty. But will one of these decide to go on the soft tyres? By the timing of Hawkeye, it's not the right tyre. Losing plenty of time. He's lost about 8 seconds in a lap, half a lap. Currently Vigo has got the double. If he finishes where he is, he will clinch the Drivers' Championship alongside his already clinched Constructors. Oh, that was great play. And Garnacho is through, come on. And what a finish. What a goal that was. I tell you what. Performance as Paparim gets that fastest lap again. Vigo looked like he went a little bit wide. Could that be track limits? 6.9 seconds for Paparim. He's going again. Maybe he had to reboost his ERS. It's a ball by Ericsson. Great first time ball, and Garnacho one-on-one with the keeper. Slots past him. Easy. As Paparim sets another fastest sector. He's pushing hard again as Skyline's gone in the pits. Is he going on softs? Is it time? He's decided to go on softs, yeah. Hawkeye wasn't catching though. He's still struggling. You can see him sliding round turn 13. Struggling to get that rotation round turn 14. As Skyline comes out. Be interesting to see how he closes down Tortuguita. And see Brazil goes in. Maybe this is the time to go on to some dry tyres. Vigo's decided not to. What will Paparim do? Paparim staying out as well. His teammate, will he come out ahead of his teammate? Vigo setting the fastest laps there. He's now flying. Will Paparim takes that 28.58. His teammate comes out in front of him. He will not want him to hold up as C Brazil goes off the track. Doesn't impede his teammate too much. It's a big ask for these softs, I think. Is it too early to go in? Struggling to keep it on the track, Brazil there. There's Hawkeye getting past Skyline, who's struggling on his softs. Hawkeye's got used to it for a couple of laps. I don't think they're closing on Tortuguita on those inters, as Brazil retakes the position for P2. He's not a very good teammate, this guy, as that's a yellow flag for Dr. Savage. Hawkeye taking fastest lap, 25 flat. And that's Dr. Savage again. On the wet, this guy is a melt. He needs some help, guys. He needs some advice, guys. This guy is on a semi-dry track with wets. This guy needs help. Brazil now closing in. Paparim going on to those softs now. I think he's accepted that his championship fight is now over. And we'll look to try and get those bragging rights off the fastest lap. He's got 1 lap to set it. And Vigo can't really battle too hard on those inters. He's probably best jumping in on the softs as well. Although he could potentially get P2. See Brazil, easy overtake for him. Coming down to turn 11. Vigo's not going to fight that too hard. He knows that he's ahead of Papa Rim and just has to get the car home. He's not going to pit. There's no point in pitting and risking finishing behind Papa Rim. He's just going to nurse his tyres. They'll probably be screaming as Brazil sets that fastest lap. And we'll start his final lap and the final lap of the season. See Brazil wax. He spends his time ripping hair off fannies. Coming round. Papa Rim will look to try and finish as high up as possible on the back of Tortuguita on those inters. Should there be an easy overtake for him. As Brazil gets that track limits, but he's far enough ahead of Vigo to remain P1. DRS is activated, so it's definitely a dry track. So the guys in the inters, as Papa Rim makes that easy overtake down to turn 9. And we'll go on with his teammate as he crosses the line for the final time on season 4 and takes the win with the current fastest lap of a 19.5. Congratulations to him. Enhances his podium last week with a win. Vigo coming home P2, and that is the Drivers' Championship for him. Congratulations. Papa Rim Job, commiserations. You fought right to the end, and it's great to have a championship battle right to the final race. Clinches that fastest up with an 18.9. Tortuguita jumps in for that podium position up to P3 with the track limits. The sun is out, but you're on inters, but it's a P3 and a podium. Well done to him. His teammate Hawkeye looking at coming home. It won't be a P5 because he's got Skyline right behind him and he has penalties. So it will be a P5 for Skyline in the Red Bull. Dr. Savage has already got P7. Gets a finishing position even though he had a mare of a race. So Hawkeye crossing the line, but will finish P6. And considering we only had half a grid, the action was there, and Tortuguita gets in the driver of the day by the game, getting that podium. I'd have to give it to Vigo because he just kept it consistent. He drove his own race and clinched that title. You cannot give it not good driver of the day if the title is awarded. Congratulations to C Brazil who did race a storming race. Got that P1. But like I say, Vigo coming home in P2 on the podium and clinching that title. Tortuguita podium P3. He'll be happy with that coming from P7. Papa Rim, again, commiserations, gets that fastest lap. But fought him right to the end. Skyline P5, Hawkeye P6, and Dr. Savage getting the final points position, P7. And then Trucker, Saka, Shit, and Spencer all DNFing in the rain and will not get any points themselves. But it was very thankful for them to join us for this final race as Rashford scores and makes it 5. Great finish from him. Left foot. Feint at the near post. And that is it for Season 4 for Viking Racing League. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate. It's been some fantastic races, some absolute carnage, some absolute chaos, but some absolute fantastic racing as well. My name is Alex, and I hope you join us again when we come round for Season 5. Peace out, everybody.